Hey, what is going on, Libras? Butch Tarot here. I am going to do your November read from now to the end of November. It is a general read, so it may not resonate with everyone. It is for your Sun, Moon, Rising, and your Venus. For all you cross watchers, roles can be reversed. Always feel free to comment down below. I'm going to be using the Wild Reflections Tarot. And with all that being said, let's get it. Universe, what do we got for the Libras? What message do we have for Libras for November 2024? All right, Libras. So I feel some new energy coming in, but it's not a new person. Their energy is just, there's this huge change. You know, we see this, the Six of Cups is past person, and then we have the Six of Swords, which is, I see a lot of big changes. I feel like this person is someone that you had a connection with before, and I feel like they effed it up. They effed it up big. You know, I feel like this person, there was so much good going on with this person, but I feel like they hid their feelings from you. You know, I feel like they weren't honest about how they felt. And I feel like they didn't see what was right in front of them until it was too late. You know, I feel like they had this incredible connection with you, but I feel like this person it's like a lot of self-sabotaging energy. I mean, I feel like they made the wrong call, and I feel like even when they did it, even when they were pushing you away, and I feel like this is what happened. I feel like when they were pushing you away, they knew that it was a mistake. And that's where self-sabotaging comes in. It's like you have something great going on for you. There's something very special, and you screw it up. You know what I mean? Like, even though you know it's special, you still screw it up, because I feel like their imagination went wild on them. The imagination got the best of them. You know, and it happens to a lot of people. What happens is when you really start to feel this connection, which I feel like exactly what happened with this person, when the connection got stronger, and they really started to fall. You know, they really started to fall for you. You know, their imagination jumped in, and I feel like that's when the wall started to come up. You know, that's when they started keeping you out. You know, I feel like there's a lot of stress and anxiety with this person. You know, and I know that sounds ridiculous to a lot of people, but to the people that know, you know. When you know, you know. You know, falling in love can be stressful for some people, because then you know you have something to lose. You know, like I said, with this person, I feel like they hid how they feel about how they felt about you. You know, I feel like the feelings were getting real for them too. instead of just, and that's a problem with the self-sabotaging, is not only are they afraid of getting hurt, but they're afraid of hurting you. And then when you self-sabotage, you end up hurting both of, both, and I feel like they may have hurt you, but they hurt themselves. I know that doesn't give them any kind of consolation here. It doesn't make you feel any better. Maybe a little bit, but it doesn't really solve the problem. But what I see moving forward with this person is I feel like that's the biggest mistake they ever made. Like I said, they effed up, but they know it. They're well aware. They had something special, and they screwed it up. So this is where we're at. Now, I see this person opening up communication with you. And I feel like this person, first things first, you may see this person come back and try to be your friend. I don't feel like they're going to push hard. They're just going to want to be your friend. And there's a good reason why they just come in just trying to be your friend. And they're not trying to completely reconcile in a day. They want to be your friend first because they got something to prove. This person, their intentions are reconciliation. Their intentions are to get back what they lost. And the only way they know how to do that is by coming back, like I said, starting off as friends, regaining that trust and building on it. And they're willing to put in the work. They're willing to show up. They're willing to give to this connection. They're willing to prove to you that you weren't wrong about them. That your feelings for them wasn't misguided, or it wasn't just you that felt that way. So this person has a lot of work to do. And they're going to do it. They're going to show up. They're going to put in the work. And one of the biggest changes I see in this person is maybe a little bit of the self-sabotaging was pride. Maybe they had a hard time admitting that they cared about you as much as they did. And that's why the difference here is this person is coming back and they're doing whatever it takes. They know what they want. They know what they have to do, and they're going after it. Because being with you is the win. And they want the win. It's not getting you back. It's not earning your trust and screwing you over again. That's not a win. It's being with you is the win. And like I said, this person has been thinking about you and only you. They've been fantasizing and dreaming about having you back in their life. They miss you. And like I said, their biggest regret is not telling you this sooner. But like I said, I feel like they're doing it the right way, though. They're coming back, trying to be your friend, establishing that trust, earning their place back. They're not just coming back and expecting it. A lot of people will do that. They'll screw up and they'll come back and they'll expect you to just take them back, and you just go from where you were. This person is being very genuine and real in this situation. They're not going to rush it. They're going to take their time because, like I said, the overall end goal is they want you back and they want to move forward with you. But they know they're not going to do that by coming in and expecting things. They're coming back and pressuring you or rushing you. They're coming back trying to make things right first so they can start off on a clean slate. That's the funniest thing not the funniest thing. I don't know why that was a little dramatic, but one of the things about people when they say they just want a clean slate, The idea of a clean slate is nice, but when you screwed up, when you did something wrong, a clean slate is them giving you a pass. You know, you wanna make up for what you did wrong, and you want a clean slate, then you got to earn that clean slate. You don't just come back and say, let's start off fresh. Everything I did before, we're just going to forget that. That's not how it works. Not my book. You screwed me over, and, you know, you want to get back into my life, then make it right first. Like I said, I mean, I feel like this person's been thinking about you. They've been fantasizing about you. They've been dreaming about you. I mean, they're seeing things completely differently. You know, they had that moment, that moment where they, with the hangman here, they're seeing things in a different perspective. You know, sometimes you got to lose what's the most important to you to realize how important it really was. Unfortunately, that happens. It happens a lot. But like I said, this person's coming back with true intentions. And they made a lot of big changes. So, like I said, I don't feel like you're going to get the same, you know, you're not going to get the same outcome as you did last time. I feel like this person has made a lot of big changes. The only thing that hasn't changed about this person is how they feel about you. They haven't walked away from it. You know, and they want to be happy, and they want you to be happy. This is not coming back just to make themselves happy. You know, with that 9 of Cups, it's that emotional fulfillment. It's filling up all your cups. You know, they want you to be happy with them as much as they are happy with you. And that's why I think they're coming back and doing it the right way, by being your friend first, earning your trust back. And I like that approach. Like I said, I don't like the approach that someone does something wrong to you and they come back expecting you to completely forget that without putting in any work and saying, hey, let's have a clean slate. Let's start fresh. Because what happens with that is that you still feel like somehow you're out something. And that's not how a clean slate is. Anyway, with this person, we have Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini. We have some Taurus. We have Cancer and Pisces. We have some Aries, some Leo. You know, this has nothing to do with romance, but it's kind of a little story about the clean slate idea, and this is how I look at it, and why I look at it, and I practice it in my everyday life. I had a friend of mine that I lent him $100 and never heard from him for a long time. You know, he was dodging my calls. The funny thing is, when I called him, I wasn't even worried with the money. He was going through a hard time. He asked me for $100, and I said, sure. You know, I'll hook you up, no problem. Pay me back when you can. He said, no, I'll pay you back next week. I said, no, you know, when you can, pay me back. Like, don't leave yourself short. So I left it open. It wasn't like you have to pay me by the 15th or the 20th, or it wasn't nothing like that. It was just whenever you can. Then he called me up the next week, and he said, he left me a message. When I said I never talked to him again, I meant back and forth. He left me a message, said, I'll be by your house tomorrow with the money I owe you. So I was like, fine, okay. The next day, nothing. 2 weeks later, nothing. 3 weeks later, nothing. A couple months go by, nothing. Don't even hear from the guy. And then I seen him out one day. And he came up to me and he said, here, man. And he gave me the $100 back. And he said, I'm really sorry about that. Can we, you're a good friend of me. And he goes, I was just in a bad place, and, can we be friends? And I'm like, I said, I said, the problem wasn't that you didn't pay me back the money, is why avoid me? When I even said I didn't need the money back at any certain point in time. And he's like, can we just start fresh? And I said, I mean, you pay me back. That's the first step. You admitted you were wrong. You came to me. Like, he could have avoided me. Like, where I seen him at that point, if, I took that as a genuine, trying to make amends, because he could have dipped out. He must have seen me before I seen him, but he could have dipped out, and I wouldn't even known he was there. But he came up to me. He apologized. He paid me back. And so we started fresh. Because I feel like I got what was owed to me. It wasn't just the money, it was the principle. And he apologized. I felt it was very genuine, so I forgave him. And we're still friends. He was just going through a bad time, and I understood that. And that's what I mean about that's like what I'm saying is all these people is like, that's like if you came up to me at the party and said, hey man, I don't have the money I owe you and I'm never going to pay you back. But can we just start fresh where I don't owe you the money and we can still be friends? Then I still feel owed. You know what I mean? It's just like if you're dating someone and they just ghost you. And then they just show up one day and say, hey, let's start new. Well, first of all, I need an explanation. You didn't give me any closure. You didn't say anything. You just dipped. You didn't even send me a text. We'll talk about that first. That's what I'm talking about when I feel like clean this, start fresh, and clean slates are all good and well, but I feel like you have to make things right before you do that. And that's just my opinion on it. You do me wrong, you gotta do it right. Make it right. I'm not asking you to go above and beyond. I just want you to make it right. Like with him, it was months. He owed me money. I didn't even care about the money. That's the thing that pissed me off the most, is that's the guy who was dipping me. And how many times did he see me out and didn't have the money and just hid from me? He didn't need to do that. He could have came up to me at any point and said, hey man, I'm sorry. Shot me a text. Like, I was so confused because, like I said, he left a message on my phone the night before. He said he was going to pay me back and then just never talked to me again. I don't know. I feel like you have to make it right. I mean, my sister was dating a guy. Another short story. My sister was dating a guy, and he cheated on her. And she found out. They broke up. A little while later, he came back, and he's like, I really miss you. I really messed up, and, can we start over? And she took him back, and he ended up cheating again. And I feel like I never fully told her my opinion on the thing, but I did tell her. I said, you took him back and he didn't do anything to make it right. And she's like, well, how would he make that right? I'm like, first of all, come back, be your friend, earn your trust. Show that you can depend on him. Show you that he was wrong. I feel like when somebody cheats on you, that's kind of like a deal breaker for me, but some people are more forgiving than others. And some people mess up. It happens. I don't know how. I've never cheated. I've never, understood it. But my principle in cheating is very simple. The reason why I've never cheated, not that I've never been in a relationship that was going downhill and I met someone that was interested in, I could have. That's happened to me. But I didn't. Because the principle is, is I treat people how I want to be treated. Always. I live my life that way. You know, and I always put myself in other people's shoes. If you're with someone you're unhappy, you talk about it. And if you can't solve the problem, then you leave them. Simple. Cheating really has there's no good excuse for it. There's no bad excuse for it. There's no excuses, period, for it, really, in my opinion. But she's more forgiving than me. She took him back. But the thing was that she didn't make him do anything for her forgiveness. She forgave too easy, which made her look weak. And he ended up doing it again. So it is what it is. I'm not saying everybody should be like me. That's just who I am. That's how I feel. You know, if you cheat on someone and you're absolutely sorry for it, you come up with a way to make it right. You know, you earn that person's trust back. And it may take 6 months. It may take a year. If you really love that person and you made a mistake, you're willing to put in the time. But know that they may never trust you again, and it's your fault. Simple as that. You know, I don't feel like it's impossible. Like my cousin, she cheated on her husband years ago. They went through counseling, you know, they went through, you know, all these things, and she never cheated on him again. Like, they're still together, they're happy, and, you know, I feel like they've bounced back from it. So it's not an end all, but let's not do it so that it has to be an issue. You know, in their circumstance, it was really weird. You know, I remember her telling me the story about it all, and it was just, I still don't feel like it was a good reason, but people make mistakes, I guess. Anyway, that's what I have for you. Be good. Take care. Stay safe.